You know, AI coding assistants are amazing tools, right? But point them at a really huge, complex code base, and they can get, well, let's just say, a little lost. So today, we're going to break down a clear, scalable system to turn your AI from a confused intern into a super efficient, focused collaborator.
We've all been there, haven't we? You ask your AI for a pretty simple change, and suddenly it's scanning completely unrelated modules, making up functions out of thin air, or just burning through your token budget without getting anywhere useful. It's just frustrating and, frankly, a huge waste of time. So here's our game plan. First, we'll nail down what this context chaos problem really is. Then, I'll introduce you to the Claude.md blueprint, our solution. From there, we'll jump into the practical, day-to-day workflows, figure out how to handle those tricky cross-module tasks, and wrap up with some best practices to make you super efficient.
All right, first things first. Let's get to the absolute root of the issue. Why does this even happen? Well, it all boils down to a problem I like to call context chaos. I want you to picture it like this. Without a map, your AI is just wandering aimlessly through your entire project. It's reading everything, every single module, every library, all the build files. This doesn't just waste a ton of tokens, which, let's be honest, costs real money. It also floods the AI with so much irrelevant information that its suggestions get muddied and your whole development process just slows to a crawl. So how do we fix this chaos? We introduce a really simple but incredibly powerful blueprint, a file called Claude.md. And this changes your role. You're not just a developer writing prompts anymore. You actually become an AI context architect, intentionally designing how information flows to your AI partner. And the core idea? It couldn't be simpler. You just place a claud.md file at the root of your project, and then you put another one inside each of your major modules. This strategic placement is what lets you provide context at two different levels, the high architectural level and the super specific task-oriented level. Now, this is where it gets really cool. Think of these two files like this. The root claud.md is the project's constitution. It lays down the fundamental laws, the structure of your whole code base. It rarely ever changes. But the module level claud.md, that's more like a work ticket. It's dynamic, it's specific, and it tells the AI exactly what it needs to do right here, right now. So let's take a peek inside that constitution file. This is where you keep the big picture stuff, an overview of the project, the high-level architecture, a map of how all the modules depend on each other, and all your global rules like coding styles or testing requirements. You set this up once, and it becomes the single source of truth for the AI forever. And here's the work ticket for, say, your Android module. See that part right at the top in bold, the current goal? That is by far the most important section. You update this every single time you start a new task. The rest of the file details the local tech stack, known bugs, specific constraints, everything the AI needs to do this one job perfectly.
Okay, so theory is great, but how do we actually use this thing day to day? Let's walk through some of the practical workflows.
You've basically got three super simple ways to direct your AI. You can just cd into a module's directory before running a command. Really intuitive. Or, from the root, you can use the add symbol to target a specific module's context. And for the very first time on a project, there's a handy /init command that helps the AI get the whole lay of the land.
Check out this example. A command like this is like a laser pointer for the AI. It's basically saying, hey, pay attention to the goal I wrote in the Android CLA.md file, and you're also going to need this specific models file from the common library to get the job done. Zero wasted effort, just pure, targeted focus.
All right, so simple tasks are one thing. But what about those bigger, more complex features? You know the ones, they touch multiple parts of your code base, like adding a new API endpoint and then actually using it in the mobile app. How do we handle that?
The key here is just one word: discipline. You don't ask the AI to do everything at once, because that's where the chaos comes back. Instead, first, you outline your multi-step plan in the root constitution. Then, you execute that plan step by step. Focus the AI on the API module to build the endpoint. Then, once that's done, you shift focus to the Android module to build the UI that uses it. One thing at a time.
Okay, let's start to wrap this up by summarizing the key habits that will make this system truly sing for you. We're talking focused work and seriously optimized token usage. This is so crucial. Always use those module-specific files for your day-to-day tasks. Don't just dump everything into the root file. And please, actively update that current goal section. It is the single most important habit you can build. Always target your work with the @ symbol,
and make good use of a .claude ignore file to explicitly hide anything the AI just doesn't need to see.
And for maximum efficiency, just burn these tips into your brain. Be specific. Update your Claude.md file before you ask the AI to do anything. Be aggressive with that .claude ignore file. And instead of pasting huge chunks of code in your prompt, just reference the file. Tell the AI where to look. It's smarter, it's faster, and it's way, way cheaper.
Look, if you only take away one thing from all of this, let it be this right here. Your module's Claude.md file isn't just some static documentation. It is an active, living work ticket. Fill it out before you start a task, and I promise you will guide your AI collaborator to success every single time.
By becoming an AI context architect, you're doing more than just managing complexity. You are unlocking a whole new level of productivity. You've effectively tamed the beast. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build first?